Assuming we have questions, folks, your reports for them to come in. Go ahead and start, please.
Pat, just talk about how it feels, your first Final Four as a coach and this group's effort.
This group's effort, regardless of whether or not we would have made it to the Final Four, has been outstanding all year. And I've said on numerous occasions, this has been a great group to coach. Just their work ethic, they've improved tremendously as the year's gone on. And I'm excited to extend our time together. I just have to make sure they understand that this is an advancement point. This is not an ending point, and there's a lot of work to be done.
Riding back on that bus from Superior after that heartbreaking last-second loss, pretty hard to imagine not only winning a conference championship but now going to the Final Four. That really says a lot about what this team was able to accomplish the last 3 weeks.
Well, I think it kind of reflects how they've been the entire year, where they've just been very workmanlike. They come in and they don't get too excited when things go well. They don't get down when they don't go well, and they just keep continuing to work and battle. And in the end, it's just two things contribute to our success. Is we're great defensively. Our perimeter defensive guys are unbelievable, and this team is bought into their roles better than any team that we've ever had, that I've coached. Guys do a great job of letting Chris do his thing and playing off of him, and he obviously does his thing exceptionally well.
There's got to be a difference. I mean, there's pride in both you being as a player going to the Final Four and you as a coach. What does it feel like now going to?
It's a lot better as a player. As a player, I was happy again, felt a lot of accomplishment. As a coach, I'm really happy for these guys because I know how it feels for them. And I always joke with them, but I'm not completely joking. When we win, I don't want credit for them. That's their wins. But when they go out and get beat, I don't necessarily think that's my fault either. Mm-hmm. So.
Chris, what was it in the second half that you saw? You had 10 in the first half. Second half, was it just getting to the paint and sizing up on your defender?
Yeah, they were just one-on-one. Even in the first half, I missed quite a few bunnies to start the game, and then my coaches and my teammates, they kept me going, kept telling me to keep my head up, and everything just started falling in the second half, and just kept going, kept it going.
I mean, the three-point shooting early on kind of cracked things a little bit. I mean, it didn't look like they were really swarming you too much in the second half. They were pretty concerned about the outside shots, it looked like.
Yeah, Cody, he had some big threes that opened it up, and then they definitely were playing one-on-one, so I haven't seen that all year long, so it's definitely time to take over.
What is it about playing on Saturdays and shooting threes?
I don't know, I must like it. I was just in my zone again tonight. I mean, I know in the second half, Chris is our workhorse. I knew we had to work through him before I would get a shot again. I knew I took a couple bad shots, I would say, so I kind of limited my shot selection, try to get into Chris in the post, just let him go to work.
So you better make it to Saturday next week.
Yeah.
Question for Alex. Had to be very frustrating when this season began for you. Missing the first, 16 games, I think, something like that. How does it feel right now to be able to get back with the team and back in the flow again?
It feels amazing. I mean, I knew at the beginning of this year we had something special with this team, and our chemistry and everything we put in, all the work we put in, just really has paid off, and it's getting better every week.
You've been around here the longest.
I mean, yeah.
Is it about time?
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, this is our year, I think.
Cody, I mean, the three-point shooting was great, but you were, you really worked hard to chase DJ Woodmore around the court a lot. And maybe Pat can comment on this too. But that's equally important as your three-point shooting was having to be up on him constantly like you were.
I don't know. I think my defense might have actually fed my offense, being able to stop him, not let him score in the first part of the game. I think that helped me shoot, get my stroke, get my confidence as the game went along.
I thought that was a critical matchup in the game, and obviously Woodmore is a great player, a volume shooter, and we knew he could get going at any point, and Cody just didn't allow him to get into any type of rhythm. The shots he did hit were tough, contested shots, and I thought Bryson did a great job on Teasley as well. I think he's a guy who can get it going. He did in the second half, but for the most part kept him to a relatively low percentage. So, again, with this team that just sacrificing their ego, he hits a bunch of threes and then defers to Chris in the second half, and guys getting after it on defense. That's why we're here.
Pat, in this whole tournament, I broke it down. You've only trailed for 4 minutes and 39 seconds the whole tournament. just getting ahead and being ahead and staying ahead.
Well, we've had good starts other than the St. Thomas game, and we erased that deficit pretty quickly. But this team just has a good focus and a good level of confidence. And I think when you're based in sound defense, you go into games feeling good because you don't feel pressure that you have to go out and continually score and hit shots because your defense can hold you up. And that's what's happened to us this year. We've gone through some scoring droughts, but we've survived them and continued to win games because we don't let people score.
Pat, we often look at new players that you add to the team every year. You had a different coach this year, Lou Chapman, coming back to the program. What has Lou been able to bring to this program for you?
Well, I think what my wife said to me yesterday might summarize it. Instead of me going into an explanation, I said after last night's game, I said, well, I'll probably at least have my job for another year. And she goes, either that or Lou will have your job. So he's met a lot to our program. He's a great coach. He's just an incredible coach. He's a dynamic personality. He brings energy, intensity. I love what he's done with our defensive scheme to simplify it, to force players to take responsibility. And every day he just comes to work. He has an unbelievable work ethic, and I think that reflects on our team. He's, titles aside, we're co-head coaches. There's no question about it. He's doing an unbelievable job.
Chris, I know he spent a lot of time with you in the ball game tonight because you were getting a little frustrated there at times, especially with the way the game was going. What has he meant to you?
He's like a father figure, pretty much. Somebody that's always going to be there for you, somebody that you can count on. And his intensity really gets you going. He kept Dave, pick your head up, Dave, pick your head up, and that kept me going. And I never put I stopped putting my head down and finally got it going.
Getting him to keep his head up is not an easy task.
Yeah.
Pat, Vaughn had 10 in the first half. You finished with 10. So was that the guy you concentrated on at halftime?
We did. We just talked about not letting him catch us deep and really getting on his right hand, trying to crowd him a little more. We just thought he got it deep, and he's such a good athlete. He was able just to rise up and finish. So we had to get him off the block a little bit.
You happy to be playing a basketball game instead of a math test against MIT?
Yeah, it's shocking. I mean, for me, that's what it came down to was Whitewater, MIT. I don't know much about MIT. We haven't looked ahead much, but I'm looking forward to get some tape and getting to work.
Pat, you once said to me, and we talked about this the other day, one of the goals for your program is to play significant games at the end of the year, and I think you've proven that this year, and you can't get any more significant than getting to the Final Four.
No, it's exciting. It's exciting because we're healthy, we're playing well, we have a great group of guys, and like I said, it's been a great journey. Regardless of how it would have ended, it's been a great journey. I love these guys, and I'm excited that we have another week to go do battle.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.